Xiao Yan was undergoing the assessment for the 7th tier alchemist badge, only to be scorned and called a waste again. Unwilling to tolerate the insult, he struck the offender with a punch, sending her flying. In the previous chapter, Xiao Yan had just arrived at the Pill Tower. By chance, he sensed the location of the 3,000 burning flames using his soul power. Elated by this discovery, he was abruptly interrupted by a stern shout from a Pill Tower elder, which shattered his soul perception. Dazed, Xiao Yan found himself in a courtyard filled with a refreshing energy. The previously withered grass now thrived, and the spiritual energy within his own soul seemed more abundant than ever before. Could it be due to his earlier entry into that star domain? Xiao Yan speculated that a few more visits might allow him to advance into the so-called spiritual realm. If that happened, he would be well prepared for the upcoming pill competition. Meanwhile, in a void space within the inner region of the Pill Tower, an elderly voice slowly spoke. Someone was probing the star domain earlier, but fortunately, they did not awaken the 3,000 burning flames. Otherwise, it would have been another major issue. Can you determine who it was? Another elder responded, no, but the individual soul power was quite impressive. I suspect it is an 8th tier alchemist who has reached the spiritual realm. The 3,000 burning flames, which Xiao Yan had been longing for, were indeed imprisoned in the void, continuously absorbing starlight to break its seal. Due to its deep-seated resentment, once freed, it would wreak havoc, and even the leaders of the Pill Tower were powerless against it. The best solution was for someone to tame the flame, but they feared the Soul Hall would seize the opportunity to cause further harm. Thus, any disturbance from the 3,000 burning flames was met with extreme vigilance. An elder remarked, I heard that even Yao Chun has fallen into the hands of the Soul Hall. Another elder replied, Yao Chun? What a distant name. He should have been one of the 3 elders of the Pill Tower back then, but his ambitions lay elsewhere. The Soul Hall has gone too far. As the conversation among the Pill Tower leaders concluded, the atmosphere gradually settled. The next day, Yizhong led Xiao Yan to a nearby Pill Tower testing site to obtain an alchemist badge, a necessary credential for the assessment and the upcoming pill competition. Upon arrival, they found a long queue already in place. Realizing they would not complete the assessment that day, Yizhong asked Xiao Yan to wait while he went to see if he could use his connections to skip the line. Watching Yizhong's departing figure, Xiao Yan took a habitual step back, accidentally bumping into a young girl behind him, causing her to fall. Seeing this, Xiao Yan instinctively reached out to help her up. However, before he could lift her, he felt a strange sensation as his soul power seemed to be drawn into the girl's body. Startled, he quickly withdrew his hand and took 2 steps back, deeply shaken. The girl appeared young and somewhat frail. What caught Xiao Yan's attention was the round badge on her chest. Is she from the Dan family? He wondered. After standing up, the girl timidly glanced at Xiao Yan and softly asked, Are you alright? Her voice snapped Xiao Yan back to reality. The terrifying moment had almost given him a heart attack, as he had felt an eerie suction force from the girl's body, nearly pulling out his soul. Moreover, since she belonged to the elusive Dan family, Xiao Yan became even more cautious. Xiao Yan said, I'm fine. Seeing Xiao Yan shake his head, the girl let out a sigh of relief. However, her gaze remained curious, seemingly surprised that he was unharmed after touching her. After bidding Xiao Yan goodbye, the girl turned and left. Watching her peculiar demeanor, Xiao Yan couldn't help but frown, sensing that she was not as simple as she appeared. While Xiao Yan was lost in thought, Yizhong returned from arranging connections. However, the special testing room they secured also contained members from the Bai and Qiu families, both of whom were among the 5 great families. Yizhong explained that these 2 families had been oppressed by the Yi family in the past, and now that they were in a better position, they often mocked him. Yizhong didn't mind for himself, but he worried they might say something unpleasant to Xiao Yan, the external aid of Yi family. Yizhong asked, maybe we should come back tomorrow? Xiao Yan replied, we've come this far. We can't just leave empty-handed. Yizhong said, alright, just ignore whatever they say. With that, he led Xiao Yan down a special passage. Inside the testing room, a dozen people were already present, their gazes fixed on the newcomers. Before they could say anything, a sharp, mocking voice rang out, "Elder Yizhong, I didn't expect you to bring someone for the assessment again. It seems everyone else knows how embarrassing this task is." Following the voice, Xiao Yan saw an old woman in gray, her eyes filled with ridicule. Behind her stood 3 young men in white. According to Yizhong, these were members of the Bai family, one of the 5 great families, likely bringing some of their best to earn badges. On the opposite side of the room, 3 other individuals stood. Though they did not openly mock, their eyes held a deep disdain. Yizhong hadn't introduced them, but Xiao Yan understood they must be from the Qiong family. In the room, an elderly man with white hair and wearing a purple alchemist robe stood, likely the chief examiner responsible for the assessment. Elder Hanli said, "So, the Yi family has arrived as well?" Yizhong replied, "I appreciate your help, Elder Hanli." Hanli responded, "Oh, there's no need for such formalities between us." As they exchanged pleasantries, the old woman from the Bai family noticed Xiao Yan wasn't wearing any Pill Tower badge and sarcastically remarked that only 5th tier and above alchemists were qualified to enter, questioning if Xiao Yan had wandered in by mistake. Hearing this, Yizhong's face darkened. Angrily, Yizhong retorted, "The Bai family's manners have certainly deteriorated over the years." The old woman from the Bai family chuckled, "Heh, it's been years, and it seems your temper has only worsened, Yizhong. However, if the Yi family fails to make it into the top 3 in this assessment, you might have to relinquish your title as one of the 5 great families." The mutual mockery displeased the chief examiner, Hanli, who sternly declared, "This is not your private territory. If you want to take the test, do so. If not, leave." The room quieted down after the examiner spoke. Hanli then asked the Qiong family what level badge they were aiming for. Upon hearing they intended to go for the 6th tier intermediate badge, Hanli's eyebrows raised. Achieving such a level at their age was quite impressive, indicating that the Qiong family had nurtured some real talent over the years. Of the 3 members from the Bai family, 2 were aiming for the 6th tier intermediate badge, while the 3rd aimed for the 6th tier advanced badge. Hearing this, the elder from the Qiong family's face changed slightly, while the old woman from the Bai family looked smug. Hanli also nodded slowly and then turned his gaze to Xiao Yan and the other, saying, "It's your turn. What level do you want to test for?" As soon as he finished speaking, all eyes in the room instantly focused on Xiao Yan. These gazes carried a hint of disdain. After all, the Yi family had lost face many times over the years. Under these numerous gazes, Xiao Yan stepped forward slowly, glanced at Hanli, and asked, "Is there a limit to the highest level of testing here?" Hanli was stunned for a moment, and the others burst into loud laughter, mocking, "Has Xiao Yan gone crazy?" Even Hanli, the chief examiner, was only a beginner 7th tier alchemist, so the highest level of testing here was mid-7th tier. Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan nodded slowly and said casually, "Then mid-7th tier it is." However, the moment the members of the Bai and Qiong families heard Xiao Yan was aiming for mid-7th tier, they erupted in laughter. They couldn't believe that a young upstart like Xiao Yan, who had never taken a test at the Pill Tower before, could truly have such qualifications. The gray-clad elderly woman from the Bai family sneered, saying it was merely the Yi family's way of attracting attention. A young woman in white behind her also looked scornful, as she had originally been aiming for high 6th tier, which was supposed to be the highest level today. But now this spotlight was stolen by Xiao Yan's antics. Even Hanli, the chief examiner, looked at Xiao Yan with some suspicion. However, seeing the determined look on Xiao Yan's face, his expression grew more serious. In such a setting, if Xiao Yan wasn't foolish, he wouldn't humiliate himself like this. Yet, despite this, it was still hard for Hanli to believe. Hanli said, "Since you have all decided, let's begin. Those testing for high mid-6th tier enter the Xin classroom, and for high 6th tier, enter the Earth classroom." He then turned to Xiao Yan and said, "You will wait until they finish their tests, and then I will personally take you to the Heaven classroom for your test. The rest of you, proceed to your respective rooms." As the 5 people entered their rooms, Xiao Yan closed his eyes and rested. However, the gray-clad elderly woman from the Bai family continued to mock Yizhong, saying, "Yizhong, the young people from your Yi family are becoming more and more arrogant. No wonder you haven't had any notable achievements in recent years. Yi Zhong retorted, you only act tough when you're supported by others. When my Yi family was powerful, you seem to have forgotten how cowardly you were. Yi Zhong's sudden fierce words made the old woman's face turn ashen. The gray-clad old woman angrily replied, Fine, fine, fine. I will remember your words. When your Yi family is expelled from the 5 great families, I will make sure you regret what you said today. An elder from the Qiong family, witnessing the scene, frowned. Although he looked down on the increasingly declining Yi family, he didn't believe in kicking them when they were down. After all, every family has its ups and downs. Yi Zhong's face was extremely dark at the old woman's sharp words. Before he could respond, Xiao Yan slowly opened his eyes. Xiao Yan said, Noisy. The Bai family not only has ill-mannered youngsters, but also such elders. Xiao Yan's words immediately darkened the old woman's face. Yi Zhong was stronger than her, so she could tolerate his sneers. But Xiao Yan, in her eyes, was just a junior. The gray-clad old woman snapped, You little brat. Who do you think you are to speak to me like this? As soon as she finished speaking, she moved, her hand slashing towards Xiao Yan's throat. Seeing the rapidly approaching old woman, Xiao Yan clenched his fist slowly. He didn't mind teaching this noisy old woman a memorable lesson. However, just as Xiao Yan was about to make his move, Hanli intervened and stopped him. Hanli shouted, Stop! This is the Pill Tower branch, not the Bai family. Behave yourself. Hearing Han Li's stern voice, the old woman had no choice but to stop. She gave Xiao Yan a sinister glare, which he completely ignored. She posed no threat to him. If not for Han Li's intervention, she would have already been sent flying by him. The tense silence lasted for a while until the 4 who were undergoing the test gradually walked out of the examination rooms. For the mid-6th tier test, the Qiong family had 2 people pass, and the Bai family had 1. As for the high 6th tier, only the cold and aloof woman from the Bai family passed. She then looked at Xiao Yan with a mocking gaze, eager to see how he would end his attention-seeking performance. Hanli then led an indifferent Xiao Yan into the Heaven class examination room. The gray-clad old woman and the others did not immediately leave, clearly wanting to see how this braggart would embarrass himself. Half an hour later, the tightly closed door slowly opened. When the gray-clad old woman saw that Xiao Yan wasn't wearing any badge, she immediately let out a sneer. The gray-clad old woman said, Trash is trash. No matter how much you jump around, you're just a clown. The Yi family is finished. Upon hearing this, Hanli frowned and then looked at the old woman with some pity. He then announced that Xiao Yan had successfully passed the mid-7th tier test. The reason he didn't give Xiao Yan a badge was because he believed Xiao Yan might qualify for an even higher badge, so he was considering whether to have him tested again at the Pill Tower headquarters. However, Xiao Yan politely declined this kind offer. He always kept some of his true strength hidden. Only a fool would reveal all their abilities. Han Li's words were like a bombshell, leaving everyone present stunned, especially the gray-clad old woman, who was in utter disbelief. She hadn't expected to end up being the clown herself. Seeing the old woman's sour face, Yi Zhong couldn't conceal his joy. It had been a long time since he had seen these people suffer a setback since the decline of his Yi family. The gray-clad old woman warned Yi Zhong not to celebrate too early, doubting that a mere mid-7th tier alchemist could save the declining Yi family. With these harsh words, she prepared to lead the Bai family members away. Just as she turned to leave, a faint voice sounded from behind her. Xiao Yan said, Wait, were you the one calling me trash earlier? The gray-clad old woman retorted, Junior, are you saying I can't call you that? It seems the Yi family's manners have really deteriorated. Before she could finish speaking, Xiao Yan suddenly appeared beside her and threw a punch. Her expression changed as she hurriedly raised her hand to block, but the force of their clash caused the air to ripple with shockwaves. In the next moment, the gray-clad old woman spat blood and was sent flying. This scene shocked everyone present, especially the 3 members of the Bai family, who looked at each other in fear. They knew the gray-clad old woman had the strength of a dozong, yet she couldn't withstand even one punch from Xiao Yan. Staring coldly at the pale-faced old woman, Xiao Yan said indifferently, Who do you think you are? You dare to call me trash in front of me?